Hello, everyone. I'm Kathy Rigling with Orange Audubon Society, and this webinar is about using the Feathered Friends curriculum from the Cornell Lab of Ornithology. At Orange Audubon, our mission is to promote public understanding of and interest in wildlife and the environment that supports it. The Cornell Lab of Ornithology, their mission is to interpret and conserve the Earth's biological diversity through research, education, and citizen science focused on birds. And their specific K-12 department is to create innovative resources and training that build science skills while inspiring young people to connect to their local habitats, to explore biodiversity, engage in citizen science projects. So the Cornell K-12 outreach has a lot of resources, which I'll share later. Then there is online and in-person educator training directly from Cornell Lab, so something you should definitely check out. And their model is to engage students, have them explore, and that leads to inquiry. So why do we choose birds as a topic of study? Well, you might look around and say, I don't see many birds around. But when you start paying attention, you'll notice that birds are all around. So they're a really good topic of study in nature and often the gateway to learning about a lot of other things. So Cornell Lab has a free downloadable curriculum called the Feathered Friends, and it's sponsored by Pennington, who manufacture bird feeders and bird food. And it is a September through June curriculum, but you can pick and choose and use it whenever you want. You don't have to stick to the monthly theme. And the structure is monthly activities. They have a bird of the month. They have a literacy connection. They have an engage section to get them students enthusiastic about whatever topic it is. An explore section, an inquiry section, like a fun fact section, and home connections. And you can see from this list, there's a lot of topics, and it does follow a pretty good sequence for the year. Like in September, it's what makes a bird a bird. And then October, it's like bird identification. November's habitat. December's bird behavior. January is like, what do birds eat? How do they eat? February is all about citizen science. March is about flying and migration. April is how can you help birds? May is about bird sounds, and June is nesting and chicks. And you can see these are all related to the NGSS core ideas and practice standards. So it's can go in with your curriculum. So each month includes the big idea and learning objectives. And for example, this is a January lesson, and this is all about what birds eat and those type of topics. So you can see your objectives would be, they can name 3 foods that birds eat and ways birds adapt for survival. And you can take these lessons and you can simplify them for younger children. You can expand them for older children. So even though this is really designed for elementary school, you can expand this and do it with older children. And there's wonderful literacy connections for each month, which you can use separately. I definitely do that in my work as an educator. So for example, in November, on habitats, the book is on Duck Pond, which is a wonderful children's book. And it really kind of highlights the habitat that these ducks visit in a very beautiful way. There's a different, relatively common bird that's featured every month to teach the children about. And so these would be birds that are found a lot throughout the United States. Like mourning dove is featured in January, so you could teach them a different bird every month. And then there's ways to engage your students. So this is from November. And again, when you download it, you'll have the whole year. So if you are teaching habitats in February, well, you can just use that in February instead of November. So for this, for example, for Engage, you have them think about what a habitat is and list on the board definitions for habitat, and then talk about different species and what they need, and that gets them started with that. And you'll find fun ways to have your students explore the concept. So this is a great thing. In your schoolyard, have them create a habitat map, and where they draw the school in the schoolyard, not the buildings, but they're going to draw, where's there food for birds, where's there water, if there is, where's their shelter. And they go back to the classroom and talk about, well, do we have birds here? Why don't we have birds here? And that just leads to a lot of different questions and thinking about maybe even ways they can improve the habitat. So here's an example of a habitat list that could be created by a student, maybe third grade and up, but younger children could do it more simplified version. And it really gets them thinking about all the different components of a habitat. And then there's other ideas within the month. So now we're switching to March because I'd like you to see all the different variety. And this one's about flight, so it includes information on feathers. So here's an investigation they can do by looking at different kinds of feathers and seeing, do they float, do they fly, put weights on the feathers and see what happens. And, you can let the students lead this, say, okay, here's some feathers, what materials we like, and what would you like to test, and that kind of thing. Home connections for every month. So in October, it's about identifying, common birds. So if you could either, this could be digital or this could be a take-home sheet, and they could go outside with their family and they could look to see if they can find anything that looks like these birds and check them off and then come back and talk about it. And it even shows you like an idea here, use the Merlin Bird ID app at home with their family to try to figure out what they did see. And it gets them really excited and interested in what's outside where they live. Cool facts are included. So in March, when the topic is migration, it talks about how birds can cover thousands of miles during spring and fall migration, and how do they know where to go. And it gets the children thinking on a topic even beyond what you're going to teach them. And there's hands-on activities for the classroom or for home. So in January, when it's all about what do birds eat and how do they eat, here's a simple perch feeder you can create with a 1 liter soda bottle. And, or, you can even have the older children design their own bird feeders using recycled things from home. So all the resources for the Cornell K-12 education program are found at this website, and I will have Susan put that website in the chat so you can copy it. It's a great place. Be sure you have time because there's a lot to explore there. But if you want to find the specific lessons, you go to this tab called Lessons and Activities. If you're a parent, there's a good tab there. There's a lot of stuff you can do at home that they developed during COVID, and that stuff is still there. So if you're homeschooling, it'd be very, very helpful. And if you want to find this particular curriculum, Feathered Friends, you're going to go to Lessons and Activities, and you're going to go to grades 3 through 5. Though definitely you could use this with younger students and with middle school. You could expand it. And you'll find this in the free download section. So there are things you can purchase, but this is an entirely free download that you'll get immediately once you just put in a few information about yourself. And you'll see there's other things you can download here, but this is the Feathered Friends, the one we're talking about tonight. And you just click on download the lessons and it'll pop right up. And underneath this, I'll go back here. When you download it, on this same page where you download it, are resources that go with the curriculum. So remember, that's in the website and not in the download. When you look at these for each month, there's a link that ties with the lessons that you got. So for further information to help you teach that, or to provide the children in a digital form that they can look at home. So for example, I believe this is in the September one, there's a bird search that you can do, you know, outdoors at your school, or you could do it, have it sent at home, where they look for different birds outside. So this is the September resources. They include, so this is the actual from the Cornell site that anyone, well, everyone can use this, but this is their All About Birds. So, you know, if the children get really interested in particular birds that you see, you can pull up very easy to read and great photos and even videos on different birds. This is called All About Birds. In the resources, they have like games. This is a great game. I've played this with students. It's a true-false game. And what I do, I have, whether they're outside or inside, we pick a side that's going to be true and a side that's going to be false. And they start in the middle, and you read the statement a couple of times. Then they walk or run, if you're outside, to the side they think true or false. And then you go over the answer, and it really helps them think through and clears up some misconceptions. So they have these true false questions in there, and the answers and the explanations, because some of them are common misconceptions, like, do all birds eat worms? And the answer is false. Only some birds eat worms. Here's more resources. Oh, this is what the bird search looks like. It has things like mostly blackbird, bird flying, bird droppings. It kind of, you can see it when you go to the resource. Now, on the website, it does say that there's a free window feeder offer, and maybe they're going to update it, but currently that is not available. You can reach out to them, the contact page, but if it's still not available, an alternative to having students watch a feeder, if you can't get a feeder, is they have a link to their feeder watch cam, which is a lot of fun. And you can pull it up for a short time, and the children can see what birds are visiting the feeders at the Cornell lab, which is in New York. And if you're in Florida and you're watching, like in January, you can see all the snow and the birds eating the snow. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and Susan will read them to me. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide here while you're doing that. So just a little preview. Next month, we're going to talk about National Audubon's free resource, which is digital and print. It's an awesome resource called Audubon Adventures. And you also find out, if you live in Orange County, that you can actually get a free set, a 3-issue set for your classroom. And they're color magazines. They're really good quality and very current. And if you have questions, you can email me at this address, and be sure to visit our website with more information about our local educational programs, and check out our YouTube channel. We will have this video on there. So if you have a friend that was not able to come, they can watch it. And also, if you would like a certificate of participation, if you will email me at this email, and we can go ahead and get you that certificate. Okay, so let's see if we're going to go ahead and stop recording.